Oh boy. Oh boy. It's here. It is here. Michael Myers is in the back. He's repping the Rams. I got my Rams helmet here. I got my sparkling ice caffeine. Got my Rams jersey on. It is here, folks. The NFC Divisional round. The Los Angeles Rams head to Tampa Bay to play TB12 and the Buccaneers. The defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the winner of this game gets to host the NFC Championship game. We're talking it could be at Raymond James or SoFi, but either way, the 49ers are going to be watching today, and they will find out where they are playing. Now, obviously, we know the storybook ending does not happen. The storybook ending has not happened. If it did happen, well, would have happened before when the Rams had a chance 20 years later to beat the same team, same coach, same owner, same quarterback, and they didn't. So this whole superstition thing and the parallels and all of that, it's a little dark in the back. I'll probably change that. Oh, there we go. It's a little bit nicer. All of those parallels, they meant nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. However, today, if the Rams are to win this game, and I believe they can, they will have a chance, and Sean McVay will have a chance. This is somebody who hasn't been able to get over two humps in his coaching career. Winning a Super Bowl and beating the San Francisco 49ers with Kyle Shanahan, Jimmy Garoppolo healthy. So there is a chance he gets to do both in this run, but the road is paved right through Tampa, and he's going to have to win that game, and the Rams are going to have to step up. And watching this game, because I don't know about you guys, I could not sleep last night. Absolutely cannot. If you slept last night, I don't know. I'm jealous. Because I sure as hell did not. The Rams, they are going to go up against a team that is finally fully healthy on the defensive side of the ball. The Buccaneers, they have everybody back. They are going to run a lot of those zone blitzes. Despite the fact that Stafford is dominant against them, he's actually number one in the league against them, they're still going to do it. That's their game. You know, expecting Todd Bowles not to call his defense because he's going up against somebody that's good at going against it. No. He's going to run the same stuff he ran week 3. He's going to continue with the zone dogs. He's going to keep everybody back. He's going to bring a guy hoping to generate a free rusher. He is going to pressure Stafford. He's going to throw everything he has at him, and Stafford is going to have to make those throws. And we've seen, again, versus Tampa earlier in the year, with not a lot of experience with this playbook, with the receivers, and in week 3, Stafford did it. Now, in that game, a little bit different. Deshaun Jackson's your leading receiver. Robert Woods is healthy. It's a different ballgame. But they didn't have Darrell Henderson. They had Sony Michel. They did not have Cam Akers, who I think adds a whole other dynamic to this team. He adds a whole other dynamic to this offense. And when I look at everything that they're doing with Cam Akers the following week, that game script was all over the place. Do you know why? Because the defense punched Kyler Murray and the Cardinals right in the throat. So there's no telling. It could be the same thing. It could be completely different. Matthew Stafford didn't have to do a ton because he was doing it with 17 completions. We don't know what today could be. But what we do know is that Tristan Wirfs the best right tackle in all of football, is out for today. He is out. That is a significant loss. It just about makes it even between the Rams losing Whitworth and Tampa losing Tristan Wirfs. They'll have Ryan Jensen back. I don't think he's going to be 100%. The Rams are not going to have back Ernest Jones, despite I know there's some people on Twitter that have told me they're going to. They're not. Ernest Jones will be back next week if they make it. I'm pretty confident they will. Bracket Cooper Kupp all you want. Don't forget the Rams. It's a pick your poison approach, folks. Do not forget that. You can take Cooper Kupp away, but you can't take him all away. You can bracket Cooper. You can triple team him. Odell had no playoff, literally no playoff experience. He had 4 catches for 28 yards when he was with the Giants. And, I'll be honest with you. I don't care about that because Odell came out last week and, he had a fire in him. And furthermore, they barely used Van Jefferson. I think both of them are going to have solid games. I think the way Tyler Higbee is playing is very interesting and impressive and something that we need to keep an eye on. And, Cam, all I'll say is if you haven't hit the over on Cam Akers' prop at 18.5 receiving yards and over on Prize Picks, I believe it's like 14 or 15.5. If you haven't done that yet, you're missing out. He's going to be utilized in the passing game early and often. And here's the thing, okay? I get it, but it's Tom Brady. I get it, okay? I understand. It's hard to predict. It's hard to bet against Tom Brady. That's pretty much the only analysis I've seen on all of the talking head networks. The Rams are the better team. They've beaten them twice in the regular season with 2 different quarterbacks. They are less banged up. That's not true, by the way. That's a false narrative. But anyway. But everything considered, I don't bet against Tom Brady. You just can't. Why? Why can't you? So here's the thing. Brady is a very good quarterback. Brady does not have Godwin. Antonio Brown is not on the team anymore, so I don't want to hear any more about him missing Antonio Brown. Today is Mike Evans, Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller, Cyril Grayson's out, so also Jalen Darden is in the mix. He has all 3 tight ends available to him, Brate, Gronk, and O.J. Howard. The running backs are fine. Obviously you don't have Ronald Jones, but, playoff Leonard Fournette is better than that anyway. I think it's very clear. The Rams have to make Tom Brady throw to guys he doesn't trust. You want to talk about something that is similar to yesterday. Think about this. And you guys know I defend Aaron Rodgers, but here's the thing with yesterday. What it doesn't get talked about enough is that the 49ers forced Aaron Rodgers to throw to the Allen Lazards. He forced him to throw to Josiah DeGuara. Obviously he was able to get his production with Aaron Jones and, Devontae Adams. But when push came to shove, Aaron Rodgers was not comfortable throwing to those receivers. Just like Tom Brady, no matter what you say about him, no matter how great he is at facilitating and spreading the ball out, he doesn't want to throw to Tyler Johnson all game. If he has to, he will. But he would probably prefer to throw it to Gronkowski or Mike Evans. I would just assume. I would. I was a quarterback. Hell yeah. So, yeah, I think that's the thing. The Rams really have to funnel it in. They have to get Tom Brady to throw to the guys he doesn't want to throw to, and they have to make their tackles and keep everything in front of them. And if they do that, they have a pretty good chance to not only win this game, but they have a chance to really take this game over and win comfortably. And, I'm not the only one that said that. Dan Orlovsky said that on ESPN, and I totally agree with him in that sense. I just got an update here. I don't know why it's so laggy on my side, but Rich Lawrence, thank you so much for becoming a member. I did see that just popped up, so I do appreciate that. Guys, if you guys are interested in the new t-shirt design, I pinned that, and it pinned a sticker. So I don't know what YouTube's doing with the merchandise thing. I was trying to get it going. I still have no idea what they're doing because it just has a sticker. But if you click that link, you could probably go to the site and go to men's or go to, T-shirts or whatever and find the shirt or hoodie or even a coffee mug if that's what you want to purchase. Apologies in advance for it showing a sticker. I don't know why it would advertise a sticker, but it's doing that, and I can't change it. So hopefully at some point we'll get that figured out. For those of you who don't know, 22 years ago to the day, St. Louis Rams were Super Bowl bound when they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they beat them on that crazy touchdown from Kurt Warner to Ricky Prohl. And I mean, it's pretty fascinating how the Rams always seem to have to go through the Bucs to get to the Super Bowl. So, sticker fire though, not gonna lie. Hope everyone is enjoying their Sunday. If anyone is interested, I do have some Prize Picks lineups. I mean, the game starts at 3, so I think we have plenty of time. The first Prize Pick lineup I have, Cam Akers over 50.5 receiving yards, Tom Brady over 26.5 passing completions, Patrick Mahomes. There is still a little bit of a promo here. Patrick Mahomes over half yards, so as long as he throws 1 passing yard, you get it. It's a gimme. Matt Gay over 8 fantasy score, and Tyler Higbee over 40.5 receiving yards. And then another one I did was Cam Akers over 15.5 receiving yards, OBJ over 42.5 receiving yards, Tom Brady over 26.5 pass completions, Van Jefferson over 33.5 receiving yards, and Matthew Stafford over 17 fantasy score. My reasoning for this, and I'll tell you right now, Cam Akers going to be used early and often in the passing game. Regardless if they can get the run going or not, they are going to want to use him as a pass catcher out of the backfield. That's the first thing. The second thing, Odell Beckham Jr. This is somebody, he takes one quick slant, breaks the tackle, gets about 10 to 15 to 20 yards. I expect him to do that a few times. I think he'll go over 42.5. Tom Brady, why are you betting on Tom Brady? Why are you betting on his completions? Is he going to beat us? And that's not what I'm saying. Tom Brady completed 41 passes the last time he went up against the Rams. 41. And they lost by 10, and honestly, they should have lost by 17. Tom Brady will throw more than 26 passes. He will have more than 26 completions in this game. You have my word on that. Van Jefferson, 33.5 receiving yards. He had 40 last week on 1 catch. I really do think that prop that went down over 33.5, I definitely think he can hit that. And to me, I'm looking at Stafford in that rhythm where, he has zone dogs and you're looking at guys coming back and they're going back into zone, and you have that free rusher, and Stafford has to make quick decisions. And his quick decision, he will be able to hit the seam, because what they're going to do is they're going to run that cover 2. They're going to disguise a little bit, but they are always, what they're going to do is they're going to blitz. And when you blitz, you signal somebody is going to be open. Someone will always be open when you blitz. There's no perfect coverage. And so Stafford is a brilliant, brilliant quarterback. He will know this. He will throw some quick passes. He will get it out to Akers. He'll get it out to OBJ. You can't just only cover Cooper Kupp and expect these other guys to not play. So that's why I like Van there. And then Matthew Stafford over 17 fantasy score. Look, the Buccaneers defense could get in there, force pressure, give him hell. But Stafford has the best passer rating in the second half in a game of anybody this year. Matthew Stafford has the best passer rating in the second half of anybody this year. Matthew Stafford has not thrown a pick in the fourth quarter. He's done an incredible job of that. 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Stafford steps up. He was great last week. I think even if they have a very limited game plan where they don't want to put him in harm's way, they want to run the ball, he can still get over that 17 fantasy score total. I feel pretty good about that. I think he'll have a good day fantasy points wise. That's why those picks are the way they are. Matthew, thank you so much for donating. I can't even talk. What's up, Jake? We got this. I believe so as well. I am, as pumped as can be about this game. Tyler Higbee, 2 touchdowns. If you believe Tyler Higbee is going to have 2 touchdowns, go over on FanDuel Sportsbook and put some money down on that, because that is, I believe, a prop that you could do. So, but, I mean, let us not forget, these 2 Goliaths squared off, and the Rams beat them 34-24 earlier in the year. And I know that was eons ago, as some people are putting it. But the Rams, I think, I can't say they're a better team than they were then, but I think their defense is better. And to be honest with you, their offense didn't click on the level that you would have. Like, obviously Stafford had a great game, but it wasn't a spread out attack. I mean, a lot of that came from Deshaun Jackson. So there's tape out there. The Buccaneers, don't get me wrong, they obviously were able to study. They were able to study this, they were able to study this team. They were able to study this offense, but it is different. That touchdown to Cooper Kupp is genius, and here's why. Because when you go back, you watch the touchdown, what they're going to do is they're going to go in bunches, and when they go in bunches, the Bucs like to play man. And when they're playing man in this bunches formation, you have 3 guys in bunches, right? And so they are all lined up on the left side at the goal line, okay? And you have Van Jefferson, I believe Robert Woods, and Cooper Kupp. And what this does is there's one guy this ball is supposed to be going to, and it is Cooper Kupp. And the Bucs, what you're trying to do is create basically all sorts of traffic to allow Cooper Kupp to get open. So if you guys remember that touchdown, Cooper Kupp, when he's wide open, if you remember that, it's because Sean McVay drew up a perfect play. Stafford threw it, perfect. Kupp gets the touchdown, wide open in the back of the end zone. Essentially what happens, you have Woods, Jefferson, Kupp. What they're doing is they're doing a rub route. They're going to basically create all sorts of traffic. The defensive backs on the Tampa Bay side are playing man, so they're trying to, obviously figure things out there and sift through the trash. They can't. So these guys are all basically coming over trying to run their route. It's not illegal. It's a rub play, and Cooper Kupp comes out like that, and boom, there you go. There's the touchdown. The Rams are going to have to do that because the Bucs do play a lot of man. And I think if the Rams do utilize that, then they'll be able to not only get Kupp open, despite his bracket coverage and things like that, because obviously they want to neutralize Kupp. But even still, I expect Sean McVay to draw up these plays, to use rubs, different, legal pick moves to get these guys out in space. And whether it's for Cooper Kupp or it's for Van Jefferson or it's for Tyler Higbee or somebody, I really do believe that he's going to be creative today in his approach, and they're going to take advantage. Todd Bowles has not figured out how to beat Todd Bowles has not figured out how to beat Sean McVay. And he is the defensive coordinator. He's a good defensive coordinator, but I do think that Sean McVay is going to be able to have some sort of creative game plan to take advantage and use this, their strengths against them. And so, I think about this. When you look at it, you have the rub plays, you have the plays, Stafford throws one, at the beginning of the game. It was a bad pass, but it goes for a first down. And the reason it was such a bad pass is because he's checking out of a run play. And you guys can see this all in detail over on Kurt Warner's YouTube, because I don't want to take entire credit for it. I mean, Kurt Warner broke it down. I mean, I know rubs and things like that, but he did a really nice job of really breaking it down. I think it's his latest video on his YouTube channel, so check that out, Quarterback Confidential. But anyway, he did a really nice job of breaking it down, because Stafford, what he's saying is Stafford checked out of the run, and Stafford's going to hand it off to Sony Michel. Michel is about to get absolutely pounded by the guy that's blitzing off the edge. And Stafford sees it. So without even really, he changes the play mid-play and just kind of throws a duck just to get it to Robert Woods. Woods slows down and almost picks it off the ground, and it wasn't a great throw, but Stafford recognized that his running back was going to get killed. The play was not going to work, and so he checked out of it and threw a quick pass to Robert Woods and got positive yards in the first down. That's the type of thing. Those are the type of things I think Stafford brings to the table that just not many people realize. I don't know if you guys saw as well, that video that Chris Trapasso of, I believe it's CBS. I could be wrong on that. But anyway, he had like that TikTok that was going around, and he broke it down. Matthew Stafford, when he throws that pass, the 40-yard pass to Van Jefferson last week, he is looking at the safety over there. So he's looking at the safety closest to the sideline, and he's looking at him. He's looking at Cooper Kupp, and the safety is in good position, but he moves the safety with his eyes because that's what Stafford does. And at the very split second, he launches a pass, and now he has created enough separation from the safety coming over the top to help the cornerback. He's created enough separation for Van Jefferson to run underneath that pass. And this is just what Matthew Stafford does. So I really do believe that his abilities, this is what they need him for. You won with Goff last year in the regular season. You won with Stafford this year earlier in the regular season. Now you got to win in the playoffs. We saw Matthew Stafford, I've talked about before, his playoff, I always said his playoff, his play in the playoffs were always overblown because you looked at, the Saints game, he has 4 touchdowns, he puts up 28 points, and the Saints give up 40, the Lions give up 45. He's somebody that's ready for the moment. He's somebody, in my opinion, that, is so smart and knows what he's doing, can read plays. This isn't a Jared Goff, situation where, you disguise some coverages and he's rattled. Stafford can work his way out of tough situations, and so I feel really confident today if they put him in those tough situations, he'll continue to battle back. He'll keep them in the game. The defense will play well, and, the Rams will ultimately prevail. Silencer, thank you so much for donating. Hey, Jake, you are the only Rams show I watch, and I appreciate you. I do like how they slid Fournette in at the last second. Yep. Yeah. No, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the kind words there. Yeah, they did just kind of slide Fournette in there, right at the last second. You're absolutely right there. Now, with the defensive side, the Rams disguise coverages more than any team in the NFL. I don't know if you knew that. The Rams defense disguises their coverages more than any team in the NFL. Tom Brady went on the Manning cast and just flat out said it is really hard to play against this defense, because he was just recently on the Manning cast. It makes sense. They disguise their coverage as well. Now, here's the thing, okay? Matt, I'm going to disagree with you there. The Bucs, what they do, how they're built, they are going to blitz. They are 100% going to blitz. They may not blitz the second most in the league like they normally do, but they're 100% going to blitz. Because here's the thing, when you build your defense in the offseason, you build that defense, you install your system. That's what you are. You can't change who you are. Like the Rams made adjustments. The Rams made adjustments when they weren't getting things done, when they had the 3-game losing streak. But they didn't just completely alter their game plan. To me, by not blitzing, Tampa would completely change what they do best. Now, I know Stafford will destroy that, barring something crazy. Stafford can destroy the blitz. But I mean, it's you can't just not blitz if that's your game. It's like Syracuse not playing the 2-3 zone with Jim Boeheim. Like, just because a team is really good at destroying zone, Jim Boeheim is always going to run his 2-3 zone at Syracuse. No one is going to come in there and say, we're going to destroy this zone. Jim Boeheim isn't going to let anybody change what he runs. You can make adjustments, sure. Like, we've seen the Rams make adjustments before. They're not going to change what they do. Derek, I 100% see Brady dinking and dunking all game. I definitely, I expect that. I think he's going to try to open things up. I mean, he was doing it against the Eagles and then started to open things up a little bit as the game went on. But, I think really the goal here is to create enough where, you're a quarterback, you're throwing these dink and dunks, and you're trying to, get somebody to miss, make a man miss and generate some yards and things like that. Because the Rams, when you're going against a team that dink and dunks like that, they're just saying, tackle us. We bet you can't do it. That's what they're saying. What do you think they might do to limit the blitz? Are you talking about the Rams or the Bucs? Because I think with the Rams, they're going to try being balanced, and then I think what's going to happen is that they're going to realize they can run the ball with Cam Akers, but they're going to try to be balanced and still throw the ball. And I think here's the problem, okay? And this could be an actual real issue for the Rams, is that I could see them establishing the run with Akers and them not being able to stop the run because of how good Akers is. Then they put in Sony Michel and he gets stuffed. So then it's like, well, you can't have Akers in every play. You got to give him a breather. That puts him in a bad spot. But then also checking out of run plays because you see better matchups. You see Stafford being able to exploit things. And then all of a sudden now, Stafford's throwing a bunch of times when he really doesn't need to. You're just doing it to exploit the matchup. So I would personally rather see just a very balanced attack. I think this team can light up the scoreboard. And at some point, whether it's today or if they win and they go on against San Francisco, they are going to explode. It's going to happen. The offense is going to explode. They have not done that yet. And honestly, the closest they came was against the Buccaneers. But if you remember, they went into the half 14-7. They weren't up 21-7. They threw the touchdown to Deshaun Jackson. They missed a Deshaun Jackson bomb earlier. Now, if Matthew Stafford was protected a little bit better, he probably gets that into Deshaun Jackson's breadbasket, and it's another touchdown. But I'm just saying, the Rams have yet to put together the most complete offensive game that they're capable of. Like I said yesterday, 75 out of 100%, they have reached their potential. We've already seen that all-star, incredible defensive performance. We saw it last week. Okay? We saw it on Monday. Now, if the offense comes to play and shows that level, and we're talking just they're scoring touchdowns and not kicking field goals and moving the ball and controlling the clock and keeping Tom Brady on the sideline, big yikes for Tampa. But we're going to see. And if anybody thinks that the Rams are overlooking this team, they do not understand what it is to be in that, in that organization. They don't understand what it's like to have Sean McVay coach them. I don't personally, but I can tell you right now, the Rams are not overlooking Tampa. So don't you worry about that. And if, regardless of the outcome, the Rams didn't overlook Tampa. If Tampa wins, the Rams beat themselves or Tampa won the game. But it definitely isn't one of those things where if the Rams lose this game, it's because they looked ahead to San Francisco. I'm not going to buy that for a second. It is almost game time. You're absolutely right. Van Jefferson over 38.5 receiving. I think he will play the role in this game like D-Jack in the first one. He could. I mean, I kind of see Deshaun playing that. Or not Deshaun. I see Odell playing that role. So, I mean, we'll see. I think Van is going to help you with those seam busters. Anytime you leave the middle of the field open, and you're begging the quarterback to have to make that quick throw, because keep in mind, there are teams that will get you to bite on those quick passes over the middle, and they'll try to pick them off. And the Rams, what they'll do is they'll run these levels where, Stafford will see this one guy coming across, shallow cross here. He'll see one guy coming across up the top, and he'll be able to see both of them, and he'll process both of them. I mean, he can read all over the field, but it makes it easier when you have levels, routes, and you can see guys, and they're mirroring each other and things like that. Just makes it easier. So I agree with you, Ernesto. Thank you so much for donating. Let's get this dub. Screw all the narratives. Yes. I love when players call out narratives because narratives are just, it's all hogwash, man. It is all hogwash. Well, we are rocking and rolling. We're past the 30-minute mark. We got about, I'll probably stop this closer to the game time. There's no need to keep it running into the game time. That's not going to happen. But, maybe like 250, 255 on the East Coast. So about, 20 minutes, I'll say. Whatever you say, Dr. Detroit. What time are the Lions playing today? I didn't see them on the schedule. Rams 45-6. Screw it. Yeah, I don't know about that. Smell a Burgess interception. If you can see that. I went with Burgess last week and they won, so I'm going to continue to do it. Burgess is my guy, friend of Downtown Rams, friend of the show, and he kicked ass last week. So yeah, I'll rep Burgess. I'm not worried about the stadium. The Rams are the 7-2. They're a 7-2 team on the road. What it comes down to is the Rams. No offense to the LA fans, but they went through a game against against the Niners where they had to run on a silent count at home. I don't think crowd noise is going to get to the Rams. I really don't. Trevor, why do you want the Bucs to win so bad? I'm very curious. As you being a Vikings fan, I don't know what the Rams did to you. Kurt Warner, yeah. 5 sacks, 13 hits. I'm here for it. Stafford's not a loser quarterback, man. I don't get that, but whatever. Over under 1.5 sacks today. Is that the over under? I saw 0.75. Yeah, I don't know about that. 1.5. I'll say he gets 1. I don't know if he gets 2. This could be a big game for Greg Gaines. I will say that. Thank you so much for donating, Matthew. Agreed. What fool overlooks any team, much less a Tom Brady team? Not true. Exactly. Cup, OBJ, Akers all have touchdowns. Man, whoever gets that anytime scorer is going to be rolling in the dough there. I don't know if Kurt picked the Bucs. It sounded to me like he was going to pick the Rams. He felt pretty confident in the way that they'd be able to attack the Bucs defense. So I don't know about that one. Troy Reader's the green dot. Terrell Burgess, Nick Scott, starting safeties. Everyone, we're over 180 people live. Really do appreciate it. Be sure to hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Like the stream. Subscribe. We're getting close to 10,500 subscriptions, so that's pretty cool. So, yeah, be sure to hit the like. We're at 54. Let's keep it going up. Let's keep this thing going up. And we have 872 views on this, so that's not bad. Normally our pre-games don't do that well because they're pre-games. Post-games are different. Let's keep the likes going up. 63. Let's get that thing up. The reason it really does help the stream, it helps the channel. It tells YouTube that every one of pretty much you all that watch Rams content or any content for that matter, YouTube, the algorithm takes what you watch and then puts it up against what you're watching right now. And that's how it recommends other people that have never seen my channel before. Because they'll be like, oh, well, Rams fans like this. So, they'll recommend it to Rams fans. So, 70 likes. Let's keep it going. Thumbs up. Rich Lawrence, as a fan living in Detroit, I've been following Stafford all season through your channel, Jake. Appreciate the excellent coverage. Go Rams. Thank you so much, Rich. I like to keep it real, and whether people realize it or not, Stafford has had a very good season. Very good season. It just probably upset some people that didn't want him to have a good season. 72 likes. Let's get that thumbs up. $75. Debo or Adams? Adams is the better all-around receiver. Debo is the better gadget guy. Debo impresses me, man. He's so annoying, but you gotta just, you gotta show your respect to a player like that. I'll say it, though. I'll say it. The Niners played the most physical game I've seen all season from any team. That was absolutely hellacious and brutal. And I am not sure. Whoever wins today, I'm not entirely sure that the Niners are going to be able to beat them. Just saying. Am I coming on after? Absolutely, Silencer. Absolutely. 100%. Cooper Kupp over under 90 receiving yards today. I'm going to go with over. I couldn't do over 100, but I'll do over 90. Well, we will certainly see. $79 likes. Let's keep it going, guys. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up for me. I hate begging for likes, but the way the algorithm is, you need to get likes on it or, 82. Let's see if we can get to 100, at least 100, by the time I log off in 7 minutes. Or, well, I don't know. 12 minutes. Okay. I get it. Trevor, basically what it is, like with me, is I'm just tired of Tom Brady. My team is playing, and I don't put bets on the Rams winning the Super Bowl because I don't like to jinx it. So, one year I did, they lost in 2017, so, I don't entirely believe in jinx, but still somewhat superstitious. Guys, be sure, if you haven't already, to join the Discord. We got a bunch of great people over there. It continues to grow. And let's see where we're at. 386 members. Let's see if we can get to 400 by the end of this stream. So everyone just join that Discord link right there. Ask Nolan. It is pretty awesome. Constantly active. We'll be active during the game. So be sure to join the Discord. All the Discord is, it's a 24/7 community of, chatting. So, I mean, that's basically it. So, yeah, be sure to do that. Again, 386 people trying to get to 400. I see Dogman X17 joined. See if we can get more people in the Discord. Look, I know you had your Stafford take prior to this, so you're excluded, but I think the sudden influx of people saying he was elite was very irritating just because he was traded to LA. All right, well, my thing, and Trevor, I get that. My thing is, I think Stafford is always one of those players that was underrated. And, it's like if you weren't an actual Detroit Lions fan, really what it came down to is that there's a lot of people that just watched him on Thanksgiving because that's the only time they watched the Lions that they would admit. And, they just kind of based him off that. And, I just find it funny. It's like, oh, typical Stafford. I'm like, how many games, or typical Detroit Stafford, how many Lions games, by the way, had you watched? Because, like, for me, I'm in upstate New York. I don't get the Lions on every channel or anything like that. But I've always liked Stafford. So I used to watch the Lions and root for the Lions because, I don't know, I just felt like, I had some friends that were Lions fans, and, I just always liked Stafford. I felt like, he did it the right way, tough as nails, going through some hell, obviously, on that football field, constantly getting banged up and just continuing to play through shoulder pain and all of that. And I think I understand, he was a number 1 overall pick, but it almost has worked against him. Like, how some guys just kind of get the benefit of the doubt because they were drafted number 1 overall? I feel like Stafford didn't get that. Like, I feel like Stafford has always been somewhat held, everyone has held stuff against him. And to me, I always felt like, in my opinion, he was a top 10 quarterback. Because it's like, who else are you going to put over him, But then he goes to the Rams, and everything that we have been saying that Stafford doesn't have, he now has. So it's not excuses. It's not excuses. What it really comes down to, and this is what I'm telling you right now, Trevor, is my thing about Stafford and why people flock to him is very simple. Sure, he had Calvin Johnson, right? I mean, Calvin Johnson is a Hall of Famer. Sure, he had Marvin Jones, very good receiver, Golden Tate. But here's the thing, is that Stafford never had, a really good running back. Stafford never really had a great offensive line. Stafford never really had a great offensive mind helping him. And Stafford's defense was only top 10 once, I believe. So, that one time they went to the playoffs. So the arguments were all there. If Stafford goes to a team that has an offensive mind, that has weapons, that has an offensive line and a defense, we'll see what he can do because I think he would succeed. And I'll tell you right now. Matthew Stafford would have done anything he's doing right now in San Fran. I don't know about Carolina, but he would have helped out Denver. He would have helped out San Fran. He'd be in the playoffs if it was San Fran, Denver, the Rams. Who else was in the mix? Seattle. I'm sure he probably would have found a way to make the playoffs there. There's so many teams. The Saints. Really. So I don't really necessarily say it's because he went to L.A. I think L.A. was the best fit. And I'm definitely not wrong with Stafford. I'm right. I'm not wrong with Stafford because here's the thing. He already proved it. What did we say all offseason? Stafford hasn't had this. When he gets this, he's going to win a playoff game. He's going to have success. He's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Statistically, he was top 3. And arguably, he was better than Brady this year. We'll see what happens in this game, but arguably, he was better than Brady. On top of that, the Rams won their division, which they didn't do last year with Jared Goff and the number 1 defense and the top 10 running game. This year, they have a 24th in the league running game. They don't have a top, they don't have the best defense. And even still, Matthew Stafford not only wins the division, but wins a playoff game against a team that at one point or another was considered the Super Bowl contender in the Arizona Cardinals. He beat them twice. Not only that, Stafford, as not clutch as he is, Stafford, as choke job as he is, won 5 straight. Sure, they lost to the 49ers. Are we going to blame Stafford for that? He was good in that game. I mean, hate to break it to you, but this is why we're not wrong. This is why we are not wrong about Stafford. No matter what happens today, I just want to let you guys know, Stafford won the division for the first time in his career, and he won a playoff game for the first time in his career. Magically, he was on a team that was, just like we said, if he got better, he had a better offensive line, he had a running game, which honestly wasn't even that great. So just imagine what would be if he had Cam Akers the whole year. But anyway, just imagine if Stafford had all of the weapons he had a running game, offensive line, and defense, what he could do. That's what we said. And so far, no matter what happens today, you can't take away the fact that at the simple point of it, it doesn't matter about a different division. What does that matter? Dr. Detroit, that is such a ridiculous comment. A different division? You're proving my point. Stafford he won the NFC West. That's the best division in football. The 6-seeded San Francisco 49ers are going to go to the NFC title game. They came in 3rd in that division. So this idea that it's a different division or this. No. Moving the goalposts, I will not have. Stafford has done everything that we said he could do, and we'll see if he does more today. But I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Stafford has done a great job this year. This is not the number 1 defense that it was last year. They're starting to play like it, but the whole year it wasn't. He had a bad 3-game stretch. He lost Robert Woods, and right after that, he threw more interceptions. But it's not factual. I'm sorry, but who thinks the NFC North is better than the NFC West? Tell me that right now. No one. Also, another thing you could add, Stafford had never played a home playoff game. So magically, he plays a home playoff game and he wins. You don't say. So yeah, no, not having it. 8 interceptions in 4 games, dude. He had 3 touchdowns literally in that game against Arizona. He almost had a perfect passer rating. If you just want to cling to the interceptions and not throw the fact that he had 41 touchdowns, which was 20-plus more than what the guy had last year that was quarterbacking the Rams. Okay, whatever. Let's just leave out context for the sake of it. No. Nope. No, they're not in the same spot. They're always moved in favor of going against Stafford. They're always moved. So I'm just letting you guys know, regardless of how this goes, the Stafford experiment has been a resounding success. Regardless. Because all we needed to know, what could Stafford do with more around him? The talk at one point going through that 3-game stretch was this. Well, the Rams sure gave up a lot to have the same record Jared Goff had at this point in the season. Where are those same people now at their 12-5, which was, by the way, 2nd most wins in the league? They won the division. They won 5 straight. If you want to go further, they've won 6 out of their last 7. Where are those same people? Because, all I hear is, well, they don't trust Stafford now. Stafford completed 17 passes at almost a 15-yard per clip average. He didn't need to throw more than 17. He did the job in fewer passes. Defense dominated. I don't know. But I do know that this game is almost here. We've waited for this moment. We've waited all week. All right, to be fair, we waited since Tuesday because the Monday Night Football game gave us an extra day of not having to wait. But to also be fair, we had to wait until that Monday Night Football game. So now Here we go. Rams, Buccaneers. You guys enjoy the game. I will be back here regardless of win or loss outcome. And I will say this right now. If you don't want me to run my mouth about Tom Brady, you better hope the Rams don't win, because I'm going to be insufferable. Catch y'all on the flip side.